Welcome to the second series of podcasts, Brainstorming with Bergeron. I'm Stephen Bergeron, founder and advisor at Mountain Ties, where our focus is channel sustainability through sales and marketing alignment with leadership growth strategies. Each podcast typically takes a deeper dive into one of the recent Mountain Ties blogs. During this series, we will uncover different strategies that can impact your business growth. And don't be surprised, quite frankly, if you hear something about the sales ecosystem as we move along. And as before, the sessions will be no more than 10 minutes with the goal of igniting a new way of thinking that will help empower your employees and fuel new business growth. Today's podcast is going to be about trade show management and conferences. And admittedly, trade shows are a bit old school. The internet, webinars, digital marketing have all changed how products are introduced and sold. However, trade shows can still be an effective strategy when used properly. Booth visits, targeted, pre-planned, and scheduled. The days of walk-by, collecting brochures, kicking the tires is over. So make yourself available through digital campaigns. Trade shows can be a step in the finalization of the relationship. Remember, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So this is true, quite frankly, on both sides of the aisle, whether you're the vendor or the customer. And always keep in mind that sales is about the close. And the close is more than just getting the purchase order or rec. In the phone call, that initial phone call you have with the customer, the close is permission to send something, plan a meeting, go forward with them. In the meeting, there is a close coming out of that meeting, and it's not always the order. Schedule a demo or permission to leave the demo behind. If you've got the demo, permission to get the pilot or the design in is the close coming out of a demo. So in my opinion, today as we talk about trade shows, the close is typically permission to re-engage at a future point in time, nothing more. The days of people walking around with their order book, placing orders, long gone. Permission to re-engage at a future point in time. And I also think trade shows have two different sets of meanings. If I'm an exhibitor, I have one set of guidelines. If I'm an attendee, because I'm mapping out a new territory, a new marketplace, I have a different set of objectives. But there are some objectives, regardless of what your role is, that remain the same. First off, trade shows in today's market can, in fact, be overwhelming. Hundreds to thousands of exhibitors. If I haven't set clear objectives and goals, I don't have my meetings well prepared and pre-planned, I'm going to get lost, and it's just going to be a wandering around. Look for educational opportunities, and I think this is one of the big misses in trade shows today. Seminars by vendors, by retailers, by customers, awesome. State of the industry review by industry experts. If this is a trade show you've never been to before and you're thinking about the market, go listen to the State of the Union. It'll help you make that decision whether this is a place I want to go. Market trends. Is what your core technology today? Does it feed into what's going on in the market? So don't miss the advantages and the educational opportunities. They're always there. Common theme for me, never eat alone. Even if you don't know anybody, if you see a table and it's got 3 or 4 folks just chatting, ask permission to sit down, listen, introduce yourself. That's how you're going to get to know people and know the industry. Remember, trade shows, network, network, network. So let's take a quick look right now at it. I'm going to exhibit at the trade show. I can't stress enough pre-planning a trade show, okay? So many people show up with their booth and they haven't done any advertising and they stand in the booth and they wonder why the show is not successful for them. So think about your booth design. Number one, you have 6 seconds, typically 6 seconds. That's it to get your message across. And that's as they're walking by. Find a reason, find a way to stop them and then have a salesperson go out and engage. But that's a different topic. Branding, clean, inviting. Have people want to stop and talk to you. Remember, less is more. Oftentimes I see paragraphs of descriptions on the back screens of a trade show booth with hundreds of products. I get so confused, I don't know. And I know the company. So imagine if you're new to the industry or you're the new player and you're trying to build brand recognition and name recognition, less is more. Remember that. The next thing I'd like to talk about is digital marketing, pre-show digital marketing specifically. Starting somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks before the trade show event begins, start a drip campaign. Be very specific with your cadence. Be very specific with your messaging. At the end of each one of these messages, have a call to action. Click here to schedule a meeting. Click here to learn more. Okay. Social sites, use Facebook, LinkedIn, what other industry sites you're using. Most trade shows now have a site dedicated to the exhibitors. Take full advantage of that free site because a lot of people that are going to go to the show are going to that website to find out who they need to go visit. So make sure your branded title and company is there. Make sure all of the key descriptors that you want people to understand about you, tick the boxes so you get pre-show advantage, okay? So develop the email campaign we kind of talked about. The other part of an email campaign that I think is important is your salespeople have personal relationships within key accounts. They may even have personal relationships within key prospects. Develop a quick email hit for the sales team to use so they can send out their personal invites. And if you've got a couple of targeted CEOs that you want to stop by the booth or chief marketing officers, whatever the case may be, cardboard gets open. Don't be afraid to use United States Postal Service, FedEx, or UPS with a cardboard insert with a personal invite for that special person to come to the booth. Whatever reason, limited use of old school cardboard gets used. Walked by enough booths, even including in companies that I've worked for, and lead capturing and meeting review is always complicated. Booths get busy, people just scan badges and off you go. Please, for the sake of the other salesperson that's going to get that lead, take a couple of notes, okay? Help prioritize that lead. We have so much to do on a daily basis. John Smith from ABC Company means nothing. John Smith has a budget and he's looking at the blah, blah, blah product. Hey, I can follow up on John. But if it's just John Smith, stop by kicking tires, help me understand how I prioritize this lead in the course of my day. Every morning, I think you should have a kickoff meeting. All hands, make sure everybody gets enthusiastic about the day in front. The night before the trade show kicks off, have a meeting, tell them globally what the goals are for the next 4 or 5 days. Do a trade show booth walkthrough. Tell them a little something about each station so they're prepared. At night, pick a couple of sales guys to talk about or a couple of the marketing people. What were the best meetings they saw today? What products were getting the most interest? Something short and sweet, and then kick off. And then at night, have somebody prepared either at the show, in their hotel room, or back at the HQ. Send out thanks for stopping by the booth. So if you've scanned all these badges, upload them to your database and send out an email. There's nothing cooler than in the morning when everybody is doing emails at 6 o'clock in their hotel room to have a thanks for stopping by. We'll follow up after the show. It's a nice touch. It shows that you're professional and you're committed. Walk the floor. Okay. I think a lot of us stand in the booth hoping everybody comes to us. Trade show floors are loaded with prospects. You have accounts for selling. You have new products that you may want to take on as your product line. Have your sales and marketing teams walk the floor, assign the rows, assign accounts depending on how big the show is. But you'll be amazed at what you can learn by walking the floor. Also, don't be afraid to walk by the competition. They're walking by your booth anyways. Just walk by, say hi. If you are going to do some heavy walking and booth interviews, it is the kind thing to do is do it on the last day of the show. Don't do it when it's busy and people are really talking to customers. Bowling for customers is what I like to call the last day. So you'll be more than welcome. Somebody will talk to you in a booth because it's really going to be empty on that last day. Post-show follow-up. This is another part of the equation here. A lot of people do great with it. A lot of people do okay with it. Strike while the iron's hot, okay? Have an assignment meeting within the first week of coming home from the show, and then do weekly check-ins. Assign the leads to specific salespeople, and don't be afraid if it's just a tire kicker, and I know we said we don't get a lot of them, even if the lead gets cold between the time you met with them and the time you get back to your office. Don't be afraid to put it in your CRM package for an automated campaign that you just keep dripping to them, and who knows, someday it will come alive. But you've just spent a week on the show, months preparing for it. Don't forget to do follow-up. And I think that sounds funny, but in reality, it's the truth of what happens. We get back in our day job, gets in the way. So if I'm going to attend a trade show, why would I attend a trade show and not exhibit? Well, it's a new market and I don't know anything about it. I think I want to go scope it out. It's an existing market, but it's a new territory. I've never been active in New England. So do I go to the New England Food Show in Boston as an example? go walk it before you go spend all of that money to exhibit in it. So you still have to be prepared. So again, go to the website, do your research, know who you want to go visit. Otherwise, you are in fact going to get overwhelmed, as we talked about earlier. Have meetings scheduled, and please have your questions prepared. Look organized, be organized, and you're going to hold the attention of the company you're talking to. Again, goals and objectives. I need to find a new supplier for this. I want to know if this is a right industry for me to expand into. Look for the education. Pretty much every trade show I've been to in the last 10 or 15 years, seminars galore, state of the industry, marketing trends, you know the drill. One of the things I would suggest too about seminars is sometimes the vendor you want to do business with is hosting a seminar. Listen to the seminar first and then meet with the vendor, even the better. You can say, hey, I sat in on your seminar and I found this item intriguing. The last thing I'm going to suggest is that you have a trade show decision tree. Okay. Do I exhibit? Here's why, pros and cons. Do I partner with one of my vendors? So one of my key hardware suppliers exhibits at the show. Maybe they have a partner pavilion. Your key software vendor, maybe they have a partner pavilion. So they have a big space for their own product to promote it, but then they give key resellers an opportunity to show their product in use. Or do I attend? Good use of your time. Trade shows, old school maybe, but think about a 3-tiered strategy: attend, partner, and exhibit. Thank you for joining today's Brainstorming with Bergeron on the proper use of trade shows as a business strategy or sales strategy, if you will. Our next podcast will take a deeper look at expanding the circle of influence. I'm going to play a little game with that expression from years back, which was my personal area of expertise and how do I expand it. We're going to take a look at it through the eyes of the company. And again, special thanks to Nikita Izzard, our digital marketing and editing phenom. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and be in line for our next Brainstorming with Bergeron. Podcasts are also available on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. To learn more about Mountain Ties, please visit our website, mountainties.com, or send me a personal email, steven@mountainties.com. Thanks, and have a great day.